Please help me to welcome Eiji Sumi.
Hello, my name is Eiji. I'm a Japanese artist. I actually work with a lot of materials, and sort of like you can say that I'm kind of material geek. I work with many materials to combine to get something that to make my dream come true. So this is like a bubble work that I have done in New York. This is a installation with a bubble and lighting and a projection. I used like 20 gallons of soap bubbles and car air pump to create this installation. And through this installation, it's just keep the amount is increasing. And what interests me is that the hole that is made in this through the installation. I actually use the automation system, the on and off system, that creates somehow these big holes. And those kind of like nature versus what machine creates is quite interesting. This is like work is coming from those inspiration of fish tank, and decided to combine with the car air pump. And I was actually like exploring in my bathtub first time with the car air pump and like with the full bubble in the bathtub. So this is the second one is a polycarbonate plastic that I have used, kind of like wanted to explore with the repetition of oscillation of lighting. And these are usually found in material of architecture or field, like factories and things like that. So I decided to create to some kind of sculpture format with lighting with this material, and decided to use a Japanese origami folding technique. So I kind of like control to cut half of the surface to fold the material to create sort of like sculpture. So this is the image that I have done for the first ones. It's kind of like a jewelry kind of looking with the LED strip and motion because of the DMX control to change the colors and speed of the light. So when I work with those material, I had to kind of find out where is the best illusion location, how I'm going to get the most out of the repetition of those lighting. So I kind of like listen to where the light wants to go, so and how I want to shape the sculpture. But so I have to kind of fight against light and artist kind of sculpture, sort of like talk with the lighting. So this is another sculpture. This is not this is not a long exposure photograph. It's just as is. So basically, light stretch out to the high ceiling. So this is another work about particle. This photograph is taken recently by some scientists. It's about light. Light is formed. Light format is based on wave and particle. So I was curious about this to create a sculpture with a particle. And this funny thing is, like, these impressionist artists back in the days is actually created many painting with pointillism, with particle, with and actually Claude Monet, Van Gogh was like doing like wave format painting. So for me, modern era contemporary artists, I needed to do something different. So I throw up the very, very highly industrial reflective dust and powder into the air with the fan system. And the inspiration was actually from this like a particle accelerator. It's kind of like a device that electrolink magnetic field to use, like, to properly charge the particle to the high beam. So I kind of decided to copy that shape to create this particle to float around. Interesting part of this work is really like when you look into that, like gaze into that, you see like a miniature galaxy that's kind of floating around. It's hard to see in a photograph. It's better to see in the video usually. So next one is another work. It's actually called Quark that I titled it. And this is actually Leonardo da Vinci's work, visualization of turbulent flow. And I kind of like inspired by it, so I decided to like make a vortex to blow the particles, same material. So I found this magnetic stirrer and decided to combine with a computer fan and magnet to make a DIY larger scale magnetic stirrer, because these things are quite expensive. But if you make it, it's quite cheap. So, so this is the result that I have done. It was great things about it is this is you can see the fluid mechanics, something that you cannot really see what's going on in the water. With this particle and with the light, you can visualize it, and it's really beautiful. And same as aerodynamics, which is previous work. So when I see those things, the one thing that fascinates me is that the nature, how the nature created, origin of nature's shape and forms. Those things are like really fascinating to me to see it. Yeah. So this is actually a spin-off of the story. Actually, this is a Bangkok exhibition that I've done, and I put the electric cable in the gallery, and I kind of like made a mess in the gallery, and and these are shaped kind of like organic form right now for humankind, but it's totally tangled up, not like nature. And it seems like we cannot find a solution to get rid of those things. But as artists who use a lot of electricity, for me is to sorry, I wanted to say about this. So as an artist who uses electricity, I actually the electricity is actually killing our planet and destroying the nature. So we want to, like, as an artist, I want to kind of like tell you that even though we don't know how to solve this issue with the tangled up cable, which is a problem with the planet, somehow with the work or art, whatever people do, we can find a solution to this problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much.